All right, so we have quite a few names on this list here, so I'm not going to delay before you. Everybody show some love as he comes up for William DeVault.
I'm going to try to use the microphone. I hate microphones. I'm notoriously bad to them, and they're notoriously bad to me. So, just give me 1 second to set up. As she said, my name is William F. DeVault. The F is for Francis. That was my great uncle I never met. He fell during the Battle of the Bulge. So, taken out by sniper fire. The telegram announcing his passing arrived during his son's 9th birthday party. So, bad things happen. I mean, you live long enough and you don't become numb to pain, but you become aware of it. Everybody in this room has lost somebody, maybe more than once. Maybe they've lost their parents, their children. Nothing worse than losing a child. My grandmother told me that. It's just awful. I lost both my parents and my last grandparent within the last 3 years. But this happens. For those of you unfamiliar with me, I am the U.S. National Beat Poet Laureate for 2017 to 2018. And there's been major questions about where I'm from. And anybody who heard the show last night, I say the internet, because in 1996, Yahoo called me the romantic poet of the internet. The first poem I'm going to do, I tend to give a little intro to my poems, so you know what they're about, so I set the stage. And this first poem is called Vodka and Condoms. I have an old friend, her name is Jasmine. We've known each other for years. We've never even kissed. But we talk a lot on the phone when she has problems. And one day she said, "You need to come out and visit me sometime." I said, "What do you mean come out and visit you?" She said, "Bring vodka and condoms." She's about 5'11", Hispanic, gorgeous, and I was like, you didn't mean that, did you? And she didn't. She was just very pissed off at that moment. And when I did a recording for it for one of my CDs, I actually had her record herself whispering, "Bring vodka and condoms," and laid it in the background.
Nice.
So, "Bring vodka and condoms," she said. I heard her say it in a sotto voce whisper, rough with fear and hunger, like a cat in heat in a cage, wanting something she couldn't ask for in simpler terms, because the words have sharp edges. Nothing more than someone to tell her what is expected of her between the courses of life, when she just wants to be wanted, as we all do, under the influence of vodka and condoms. Those of you who hate my usual stuff, good time for you to go to the bathroom and get something to eat. I'm going to give you a couple of my classic, long, meandering, projective, romantic poems. If you don't like them, oh well, I have the microphone. I collect gems, precious gems. It's a hobby of mine. And my favorite is the pinkish orange sapphire known as patparacha, which literally means lotus blossom in the morning. And it has a great romantic history to it. And there's a female of my acquaintance who I nicknamed Patparacha. Now you'll often find I've given nicknames to women and I never tell you who they are. And you can go through all my poems, and there's thousands of them, and never figure out who they are. But we have had an on-again, off-again relationship. And I keep telling her one day I'm just going to wander off to the desert, and she'll know where to find me, but no one else will. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. The path broadens, then narrows. Stone to clay to dust to grass to stone again. When the sun is at the right angles, I can see the long neglected spires of home. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. When the wind blows, it is from the south. When the rain falls, it is from the skies. When the sun rises, I can see the edge of a world I have never comprehended. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. Vacant streets, save for the occasional ghost of seasons and reasons long past and cast aside, a bride of dust, a pride of trust forgotten. I am home now, and there is much to do. Home. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. The trivialities of other lesser cities, pale purgatories to one who has lived where the gemstones pierce the night and shed their light on the dreams of lovers. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. Find your way to me when you can and will. I will clear out the upper levels of the palace and lay new stone by my own hands, black marble for the bare feet of acolytes who have fled. Home. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. I hide in the open, so only the blind miss me. The tumbling weeds and hungry hornets pass by and acknowledge me not, for I am not relevant in the green waves of prairie grass they inhabit. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. My voice echoes in the violent silence until the echoes find synergy. And it sounds like a multitude, a host of fair airs chanting. And all my words are of you. All my words are true. Home. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. The dust slides on the smooth stone in the wind as the moon illuminates without heat. And I shiver like a frightened child, alone to face the morning with renewed vigor. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. Truvar, priest, worshipping one of seven, penetration without flesh or even sound, the riddle of Scrimshaw on jigsaw people. The towers shift in spectrum, but retain strength. Home. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. 223 stairs gently curving, and I am undeserving to ascend them empty-handed. But for yet another sack of words, awaiting worms to feed upon me as I lay, sightless and forgotten. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. The lotus blossom minarets whistle in the wind, and I watch the dance of the stars, forgetting years and vows I had made, without malice or regret, for I am caught up in the universe and the sky. Home. You alone will know where to find me. You alone I will not refuse. My Padparasha prison was smoothed by hand and sand and now stands neglected so long. Too long. And I am not an agent of rebirth. My muscles will be dust and rust before you find your way here. Oh. I was a little worried that everybody would wander off during that one. So.
And right now, we're moving straight for our California beat poet laureate. Everybody put your hands together for Chris Vannoy.
Shot out of San Diego like a cruise missile guided by red laser taillights, fueled on caffeinated elixir and adrenaline at 3 a.m. after 4 hours sleep. Injected steel and glass projectile into a freeway that resembled strings of cubic zirconia and rhinestone. Starred sky revolved into daylight, Morning found me carving circles through Compton. Sun sparkled line-lighted parked car windows on trash-lined, potholed streets where the old red line station house still stands, saved from destruction by an African-American woman's hand. Spires, watchtowers rise proud, anchored concrete over incessant iron. Needle columns punched defiantly into blue after rain sky. 7:30 a.m. after Watts, 1965. After Rodney King, 1992. Community Action Council fused multiracial human beings into a movement of one over a breakfast of passionate grits, powerful fried chicken, intense biscuits, and furious hot coffee. Multicultural psyche collected to bridge bureaucrats who promised everything, but dispensed only uninhabited time in spoonfuls of action mixed with bitter herbs and hope. Flashed uptown, neon burning my unsunglassed eyes through brown LA smog, and I poured into a room where a dark man slept, who knew the stripes of injustice because he ate them every day for lunch in his 3-flight Hollywood hotel walk-up. 11 a.m. I climbed up the hill to see the god of architecture, but he wasn't home today. He left his temple and the Carametal dogs who were busy digging in his front yard, holes big enough to run trains through. I complained when they said I couldn't wait. They threw me out anyway. Fortunately, I came prepared with Florida water from the Britannica, which I sprinkled liberally around the Aztec doorpost to keep the evil spirits out. This freeway through LA has my ass dragging on asphalt, racing metal monsters jockey for position. 7 lanes of cars with crumpled fendered smiles on 4 lines of road, engines belching fossil fuel vapors that paint a thin brown line between sky and sea. Wearily I bulldozed my way back to Dago, my tongue hanging out, panting like a tired lion after a chase. Dropped off the package at Hotel 911, 9 p.m., fell exhausted into Soho and almost drowned in a cup of house coffee. I spent too much for gas. They said they're going to pay me next time. Next time I cruise to LA. Someone was asking me what beat was, and this is what came out of that. He asked me what beat was, so I told him, beat is not a what, beat is an it. It's jazz blues crying out on a night of moody stars over a city that never sleeps. The struggling of hard bones on empty bottles, its dreams left sleeping by the click-clack railroad tracks, and dreams waking on beaches with the taste of last night's drunk still in your mouth. It's calling out your lover's name so loud that it shakes the sky to brightness, then moving through the day with fierce determination. It's living present and feeling the perception that there will not be another day like this ever. It's balancing feathers and driving around the world with stereo blasting through the interstellar air. Its blades spinning through psychedelic movements of wind, powering the light at the end of the world. Its beat children struggling to save a beat planet from plastic bags roiling in a radiated sea. Beat is beat down. Beat is beat up. Beat is life, baby. Beat is when someone takes all you have and then disappears into the fog of missing possibilities and leaves you there crying at a table set for one. Beat is when you don't care anymore that you are beat and you just lean forward and listen to the flapping of your shoes on the hot asphalt of a slow-boiling summer's day. Beat is yow, man. Beat is yow, man. Beat is yow, man. Cool, cool, cool. It breaks over you in waves of spent notes, spit in melody from some musician's pinched-lipped horn. It eats at you like a hungry worm, then wraps around you like a smooth, hot woman on a cool, warm night. Beat is a long, slow cry of distant train whistles at midnight. In the middle of a long, dark dream, it's knowing that you're standing on a path where one journey ends and another one begins. Beat is watching the vapor trails of airplanes crisscross the skies and knowing that you will be somewhere else when tomorrow burns a new experience inside you. It's tapping shoes and nodding heads and wild screams when you can't contain your joy. It's moving your feet that propels you across the floor, then throws you into the arms of a pretty girl while a musician on stage, a the musician on stage is smiling because he feels it too. So he starts pounding the piano so hard that the sound is flying out through the electric air as the drummer taps his hi-hat of unexplored possibilities. Beat is finding the rhythm in the poem. Beat is life, man. Beat is life.
Yeah.
While I was over there, I got to go to Swansea and see